heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're gonna have safe cities, finally, safe cities. Secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff. And we're gonna take Doge to Mars. I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? This one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
I love how strategically he cut away at that last part. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I got Bitcoin up. Sweet. All right. Hey, guys, I don't know if you know this. Bitcoin's doing all right. I guess the world isn't falling apart. And sounds like the Bank of Japan isn't falling apart either. Sounds like we're going to be okay with some rate hikes, guys. Who knew? Who knew? Let me just pop up my restream here real quick so I could say hi to everybody and see the chat more clearly. Good morning, CJ, Jacob, Mr. Popper, Gemini Knight, Alpha, JD, JT, Akash 2000. Good morning, everybody. It's going to be a good day today. I've got a lot of good stuff to cover. We'll probably get the Trump stuff out of the way because I believe it's some of the most consequential. But just real quickly, we've got gold climbing to a new all-time highs or getting close. We've got Chinese bonds, 10-year bonds, continuing to plummet at 1.632% right now. Not very good. Yeah, we'll talk about MicroStrategy. I'm not worried about it. I already posted about it. We've got Trump talking yesterday about crushing the price of oil and gas, natural gas lower. And then he's going to demand that Jerome Powell lower rates. I can tell you that's happening. Okay. Sailor Post, can you comment? Yeah, we'll take a look in a second. Just a second. I've got some stuff to cover. So I think that's going to happen no matter what. I think you can count on that. FS Insight has some really positive stuff this morning too. They're positive on markets overall. They had 3 different videos this morning. They said new tenant rent index shows rents plummeting. This is a new index that we're going to cover in a little bit here. And it's just foreshadowing what's coming, which is much lower inflation-related data when it comes to shelter, much lower. So we like that. I think Tom Lee said dropping like a rock. Day one tariffs threats overblown, as we can tell now. That appears to be, again, just FUD and garbage. Sentiment capitulation, he said, because of the last 30-plus days of chop, they believe that's bullish. Inflation, again, softer than expected. Cyclicals leading year-to-date, which is a risk-on signal. And then in regard to all of the craziness, yes, we'll look at Sailor. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. We will pull it up. In regard to all the crazy news from yesterday, we had the CBDC, central bank digital currency, getting banned, which is funny because XRP was essentially a CBDC. I don't know if you guys know this, but it wasn't much different than a CBDC. It would allow governmental control and be in an integrated system where they could do whatever they wanted to with it, which is a horrible thesis and the opposite of what Bitcoin tries to do. But they banned that. So that's going to be interesting to see how XRP could thrive in a world like that. MicroStrategy to redeem $1.05 billion of 2027 convertible notes and settle all conversion requests in shares. Wow. Fuck. That's cool. All right, we'll keep going here, and then we'll get back to that. SAB 121. So I totally forgot what it was yesterday. I just had a brain fart when we started talking about it. I forgot that this pertained to the CFTC and how they basically prevented, with Operation Choke Point 2.0 and SAB 121 and all this stuff, from banks being able to custody Bitcoin. But that's great. It's great that that was reversed. Banks will now be able to not only help you custody it, all of them, but at the same time, we're going to see loans. We're going to see loans getting generated from it. You'll have these guys hold your Bitcoin, and here, you know what? I got to get off my gut. I'm a little on my gut. We don't want to see the gut. There we go. That looks better. That looks better. Yeah. We got the chest, not the gut. I like it. All right. Anyway, that's just my vanity talking. But we'll be able to get, imagine this, imagine being able to give some Bitcoin and then borrow against it for, your kid's college fund or for a house. I don't love that idea because there's still a lot of counterparty risk associated with such things. But I do believe Bitcoin is going to be integrated into the financial system and it matters. And this is good. This is good for regular adoption. It lets people know, hey, get in, be a part of this. I do believe, though, a lot of hardcore Bitcoin maxis want to see Bitcoin thriving as a currency. And I don't think that's the direction we're headed down right now. I think the direction we're headed down is a reserve asset. And I think that's a good one. And I do believe that countries that really adopt Bitcoin will be able to turn it into a currency. I just think there's inherent flaws with governmental control where they still want the money printer to go burr. I've been saying this for years, guys. This isn't a new thing that I just jumped on the bandwagon for. I've been saying for a while that we will see Bitcoin be the back-end functionality and that it can boost our bond market in the United States and that it can allow our currency to be more sound. And that's exactly what it's doing. So again, SAB 21, good. Bitcoin stockpile was created. We got Cynthia Loomis becoming the head of the Senate Banking Digital Asset Committee. We've got her working towards passing legislation to promote responsible innovation and consumer protection, eradicate Operation Choke Point 2.0. Getting rid of SAB 21 was a good way to start with some of that. Make America the Bitcoin and digital asset capital of the world. These are lofty goals. I also wanted to speak to something else. There's going to be people that go, we didn't get a Bitcoin reserve yesterday. They didn't do it. And that's why some people were fucking retarded and selling yesterday. You got to be really stupid to sell. There's one guy in my comments after making a comment where I compared Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder to the level of retardation you have to be at to sell Bitcoin yesterday. A person jumped in and is like, I don't know, man. I think I'm going to sell my Bitcoin. It's getting pretty scary. And I just sat there and thought, well, thank you, Simple Jack, or whatever the fuck your name is. Because you got to be really stupid to sell into yesterday. We didn't get a reserve, right? We didn't get it. Yeah, that guy went full retard. Okay? We didn't get a reserve yesterday, but here's why that doesn't fucking matter. Because executive orders, where if Trump would have created a reserve out of Bitcoin in an executive order, you can use an executive order just as easily to make it go poof. Okay? We're not doing that. We're going to do it through Congress so that an executive order can't wipe it out and only a fucking act of Congress can. This is the way. Okay? If you don't know it yet, now you do. So that's what we want. There's a whole bunch more, guys. There's so much more to talk about. All right, Michael Saylor, comments. Let's look. I don't know if I have any comment yet. I don't want to be like uneducated and talking about like spewing a bunch of bullshit that I haven't truly thought through. So I don't know that I'm going to have a comment yet, but I do think that I think reorchestrating the debt and making it to where you don't have to worry about abnormalities and variabilities in the future is probably brilliant. It says MicroStrategy to redeem 1.05 billion of 2027 convertible notes and settle all conversion requests in shares. I mean, I think this is probably healthy. I've got to do some research. I got to think about it. I got to read the entire post. I don't just look at fucking headlines and make assumptions about what things mean. But at a cursory glance, I think that this is a positive thing that sets them up even better during the bear market. Okay? So I like what I'm seeing right here, but I probably want to do a little more research to understand it. I also know, too, that people are worried about potential tax complications from them holding Bitcoin and having to realize unrealized gains. I don't know if people realize this or not, but if that's true about MicroStrategy, it's also true about every Bitcoin miner out there. And am I worried about this? Not fucking remotely. Even just what he did today resolves that concern. And yeah, I don't know. I think people get too confused by all of this stuff. And just, again, the legacy world dilution is a bad thing. It's a bad thing, right? But in this world of Bitcoin, it's not. It's the exact opposite. And I know that sounds insane, and it's why people think that this thing's a Ponzi scheme. And again, it's running at a premium to its NAV. So I get some of that, right? But it's accretive, like Ryan said here. Dilution is accretive, and it matters. And I don't think everybody understands this, and that's okay. I look at it this way. MicroStrategy is still at 1% in pre-market. Could go down a little bit, but I think more and more people are wisening up to what they're doing and how well they're managing their debt, and the fact that they're keeping it well underneath 25% and very controllable, even in an economic downturn that could just destroy Bitcoin and drop it for a period of time. Yeah, watch Ben Workman. He's your best. He spelled it wrong. I think it's W-E-R-K. I think. Let's see. Ben. Yeah, E-R-K. Get it right. No, I'm kidding. Sean, the new Lyndon Alden interview was amazing. Good insights on macro. That's why I shared it. I don't know how many people saw it, but she's brilliant. She talked about how mortgage-backed securities, how we might sell off some of those, and then again use that to support our bond market. And I think if you add that in, and you add the defense bonds, and you look at the plays that Trump is going to be able to play with tariffs, you're seeing that there's going to be a whole bunch of people buying our bonds, and he's going to be dropping oil and natural gas and all these energy prices substantially, and then telling Powell, hey, Powell, you want your fucking job? Bitch, you better lower rates. Otherwise, kiss your fucking career goodbye. And you know what? Powell just doesn't want high levels of inflation. And again, we're not going to have them. I've been saying this for a long time, and I continue to be correct. Inflation is not a fucking concern. Okay? Now that we're done with that, let's move on. All right, so I want to get through Trump stuff. We're going to get to all the... hopefully I covered a lot of things there for you guys. I want to get through Trump because, again, there's so much of this stuff that's driving everything that's happening. Yeah, he better kiss the fucking ring. There's so much driving this. What do we got? Gemini Knight. Do you think markets are short-term overbought, including Bitcoin? Daily stock RSI looks to be... No, I think they're just getting started. Could we see better entries next? No. Here's my take, and I mentioned this yesterday, Gemini Knight, and maybe you weren't a part of it. I don't know. Either way. 10 days. 10 fucking days, the majority of the Bitcoin returns will happen. And if you zoom out even further, out of the entire cycle, and I don't know, this number might have changed a little bit. It's been a while, okay? But I think it was 37 days out of a 4-year, maybe it was 70 now. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But 90% of the gains for Bitcoin happened, let's say it's 70, in 70 days out of 4 fucking years. So once you think you've established the bear bottom, unless we're incredibly overbought on the cycle, and you're seeing all these indicators firing off, telling you that we're overbought on the cycle and from a macro perspective, why the fuck would you try and get in at a lower price next week? Again, not picking on you, just trying to say, reiterate this point. 10 days out of 365 this year, the big bull cycle year, are the days where we'll see over 50%. And what is it, 70-ish, maybe even 90 days out of 4 fucking years. Do the math there. 1,400 days-ish. 1,500, actually, probably. So 1,500 days, you got to be right. That's like 1 in 15, 1 in 20. It's just so risky not to be in. So hopefully I've done a good job reiterating that. Let's jump on to Trump, because there's a lot going on in Trump land, guys. And you got to have a beat on Trump. If you want to know what's happening in the economy, you got to have a beat on Trump. And for a number of reasons. So we got Colin Rigg talking about the CIA purposely kept intelligence from President Trump during his first administration, according to a senior CIA officer who was caught on hidden camera. James O'Keefe, he's catching all of these motherfuckers. It's great. I think I don't know if he's using some hot bitches to get these guys to spill the beans, thinking they're getting laid. I really don't know what all is happening here, but he is amazing, and he is uncovering a lot of truth, and that's good. Carolyn Levitt, the Trump administration arrested 538 illegal immigrants, criminals, including criminals, that's the important part, including of a suspected terrorist, 4 members of the Tren de Aragua gang, that's like the train or whatever, and several illegals convicted of sex crimes against minors, little fucking kids. So I'm sorry, that's good. Honeypot, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, JT. That's good. If you don't think that's good, you're simple Jack. J.D. Vance, an illegal alien with 17 criminal convictions, really hates President Trump for sending him back to Haiti. He's grateful to Biden for letting him come here. I'm glad we're deporting him. Listen to this piece of shit right here. This is amazing. And this is Yeah, look at this. Fuck Trump. You feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. I showed this briefly. This guy was talking about how great Biden and Obama were. Do you want this guy? Do you want this guy who is pro the Democrats? Do you think they should be in power when the fucking criminal with 17 prior convictions is like, fuck you, I ain't going back to Haiti? No, we voted for the right people, guys. And if you didn't vote for the right people, hey, you can do the right thing next time. Border Hawk. Federal authorities just raided the law offices of Joseph Molina Flynn, a prominent immigration attorney in Providence and Boston, who boasts having lived illegally in the U.S. for 15 years after arriving from Colombia on a tourist visa. All I have to say to this guy is, bye, bitch. See you later. Maybe you shouldn't boast about performing illegal acts. The Tom Holman video saying this guy is getting deported is hilarious. I'll have to check that out. Elon Musk said yes. And then again, this is his America Pact, just so we're clear. President Trump no longer will give government label the speech of our own citizens as This is important. This is important if you don't want to be labeled. Like Trump right now could literally take the reins and crush mainstream media and label everything they're doing as misinformation. But he's not doing that, right? He's letting X figure that shit out with community notes and soon Facebook. But he's not doing this. And this is important for our society and for the West and for the survival of it.
In addition, I'm pleased to report that America is also a free nation once again. On day one, I signed an executive order to stop all government censorship. No longer will our government label the speech of our own citizens as misinformation or disinformation, which are the favorite words of censors and those who wish to stop the free exchange of ideas and, frankly, progress. We have saved free speech.
I might show some things yesterday that I show today. Okay? That's just how it works. Sometimes I'm trying to reiterate messages, and so I bump into it. I know I'm at the end, but I want to say it again, so you get it. Okay?
In America, and we've saved it strongly. In addition...
So yeah, this is good. We want this. We want freedom of speech. We don't want government censors on any side of the aisle getting to decide what truth is. We want to figure that shit out on our own. If you're smart, you realize that. Elon Musk says, awesome. President Donald Trump signs an executive order to declassify the JFK, RFK, and MLK Jr. files. We're going to find out why these guys got killed and if we killed them. Rod D. Martin says Trump smashes Biden's global minimum tax. This is kind of important, guys. I'm going to roll through this one real quick. Yeah, repetition is how you learn, especially so if there's a topic that I think that you need to know more about, it's going to be repetition. Rod D. Martin. So again, let me read this here. So this is interesting, this global minimum tax. Let's read through it real quick because I don't think most people even know this exists. Remember when Janet Yellen signed away American corporate interests to the European Union in 2021? That global minimum tax was always a disaster waiting to happen. The deal was a disaster for America. It's a minimum 15% global tax rate, prevents future presidents from cutting taxes, targets U.S. companies, lets EU countries raid American businesses. It was a complete sellout of American sovereignty. But again, that was the goal, right? We know that about the Biden administration and including Kamala Harris. It was to give the reins to the World Economic Forum and the International Monetary Fund. It says, but Trump's not having it. 2 executive orders on day one that basically tell Europe, touch our companies and there will be consequences. Democrats thought they could sneak this through Congress. Spoiler alert, they failed. Congress never backed the changes needed to make this work. So again, that's why he's able to get rid of it with an executive order. That's why the strategic Bitcoin reserve will be one as well. Let me tell you what Trump's orders actually do. It tells Treasury to void Yellen's agreement, sets up retaliation against foreign tax grabs, and protects American businesses. The real kicker, Trump's bringing out the nuclear option, Section 891 of the tax code. Never heard of it? You're about to. We're halfway through. Section 891 lets the U.S. double the tax bills of foreign companies whose governments try to squeeze American businesses. That's called playing hardball. The Europeans are panicking. They thought they had a done deal with Biden's team. Now their whole tax scheme is falling apart. Trump won't let them tie down America like a bunch of Lilliputans. Why does this matter? Because the global minimum tax was always about stealing from American companies, funding EU bureaucracy, and killing U.S. competitiveness, while I think furthering the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, and the International Monetary Fund. Just throwing that one in there, Rod. The truth, Europe's economy is struggling, and instead of fixing their own problems, they wanted to raid American success stories. Fun fact, U.S. administration opposed this deal until Biden came along, even Obama. Democrats told you they were now socialists. They meant it. Think about that for a minute. Bottom line, Trump saved American businesses billions in potential taxes. Europe can either compete fairly or face the consequences. Game, set, match. Suck it. You guys make sure you're following Rod. I need to do it too. I like him. All right, let's see here. We got a bunch of people talking. We got Gemini Knight. I am all for freedom of speech. So important. I can't believe we have to defend it. I used to think that there needed to be people that were clarifying the truth. But then when you actually think about it, you're like, oh my God, we don't want the government doing that. Let me see here real quick. Hey, Jesse, could you share your thoughts on MSTY using DRIP? The dividend is 10%, which is pretty nice for cash flow. In a bear market, it lowers average, more shares. In bull market, cash flow will be sick. I think it's good for cash flow, but I mean, man, just owning MSTR, or I should say MSTX at the bottom was a better play. I mean, just recently when MicroStrategy went up 370%, MSTX and MSTU went up 1,300%. And you're just not going to get that from MSTY. But if you're looking for like a decent dividend play, I don't think it's a bad deal. I haven't completely thought through it, though. So if there's people, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we need to add that to the Discord and talk through it more and just think about any potential concerns with it. But I don't have a problem with it. I think it's probably better than a lot of dividend plays. I think that's I think that's where I'm at on it. Nick, can you imagine if he's able to get rid of federal income tax? I think that might happen. And I know it sounds insane, but I've been telling you guys, my theme for the last year especially has been, I think it might happen, and I know that sounds insane. And I told you about that, about Trump, well before people started to realize that he was going to win the election. And I even think near the end, so many people didn't know it. I knew it. I literally started off my fucking marathon stream where we stayed up all night until we confirmed it. I started off with, hey guys, this is going to be a fun one today. We're going to watch President Trump get elected and take the Senate, the House, and control the entirety of government. That's how I started off the fucking stream. So I knew it. If you pay attention, you can find the truth. You can see with a high degree of accuracy what's coming next. Sidecar Guy just joined the live stream. Have we talked about the launch of series? Oh, yeah, I bought one. I don't know what's going on with my OBS. It looks weird. Are you guys okay? Are you guys seeing things okay? My OBS at the side looks frozen. Let me know if there's any weirdness with the stream. But yeah, I bought one. The wife got a Model Y. We got the white one with the black interior. Oh, it looks like it came back. It's my local computer. I'm still waiting. No cam? Your video freezes. Ah, shit. I think this might have to do with my computer, guys. Let me just check something real quick here. I get a new computer next week. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I'm cooking. Let me kill a shit ton of stuff. By the way, Solana's up a lot. I'm going to just drop a bunch of windows, guys. So I can try and get this to where it's not freezing like crazy. Just give me a second. We're just going to crush it all. I got to reboot later. Oh, let me just kill all this stuff. Hopefully we can keep going and then not have to worry about like just everything dropping. All right, let me go over here too. I'm gonna kill a bunch of stuff from yesterday. Just trying to see if I can get my memory pressure down. So let me just get another screen over here. 1 second. We'll get there. Just give me a sec, guys. I just don't want to be glitching the whole fucking time when I can fix it, if you understand that. All right, there we go. I think that's enough. All right, I'm back to green. I think we're okay. All right, we're back at it, guys. That was fun. All right, real quickly here. All right, so that should be good, I think. And my new computer, I paid $7,800 for the absolute best fucking Mac you can get, so I'm excited about it. Yes, we bought the launch edition. I posted about it a little bit yesterday, but we got the launch edition in white with the black interior. I don't remember what it cost. It was a decent amount of money. Couldn't use the referral for it, which sucked. I was really hoping we could. But look at this thing, dude. That's the red one. Look at the light bar in the front. I just think it's pimp. I'm going to have it on all the fucking time. I mean, it's my wife's car, so she can do whatever she wants. But even just look at this. I was talking about here how dated the old one looks, which we still own, right? Yeah, but you get FSD, you get the boost package, so it's got the acceleration boost out of the gate. I think in my last car, I paid $2,000 for that, and then you get some light things that shine out the launch edition on the seats. There's a little launch edition. The back seats go down all the way and come back up, automated the full fucking 9 yards. It's got 2 more speakers. It's got a better suspension system. It's got a back screen. It's got a bigger monitor. It's better in every way. So when you subtract out like even just the FSD and some of these extra little features, you very quickly realize that you're getting a much better car for a higher price. And so for me, it was a no-brainer. We had to get it, and I think we put it in here somewhere. I don't know. Got a lot of stuff to cover today. There's so much to cover today. It's crazy. Let me see. Yeah, there's my baby. Ordered Juniper. That's what the wife got. She didn't get the white seats though. She got the black. It's going to be quieter. Yeah, there's so much, dude. It's so much in it. It's going to charge faster. It's got hardware 4. It's a no-brainer if you're going to get a new one. This is like the best SUV-ish car you can get. And I can't wait. My wife, you should do a short video. I should, but I never do. I did. People said that about the Cybertruck too, and I didn't do it. Malay's speech at the WEF was profound and insightful. ARGT. I posted that. Farzad put the English version of that out with the help of one of his guys that he works with all the time. That was the most fucking awesome speech I've ever heard. And the best part is he did a dunk on those bitches, because last year he came there alone and isolated and basically said, we will win. We will save democracy. We will save the West. We will do the things that we need to do. We're going to leave the China agreement that we had. We're going to come back, and we're going to do this. The West is going to survive. And then he literally, this time around, said, I fucking told you so, in the most elegant and beautiful way I've ever seen. Did it qualify for the 75? Yeah, they do. It qualifies for the $7,500 tax credit. That hasn't been banned yet. Could it lose that maybe? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I think if you already have it on purchase, you're going to be good. And it's at the time of that you pick it up that it gets applied. So I don't know if it could be lost at some point, but for now it's good. So that's good. The unrealized tax on MicroStrategy's Bitcoin, I don't understand. Don't worry about it. There you go. Boom. Now you understand. Don't worry about it. If anything else, what Saylor just did today makes it to where he doesn't have to worry about any of that. He doesn't have a lot of debts. He can easily, if the tax did go forward, which there is a tax law from like 2021 or some bullshit, again, probably fucking Biden, piece of shit, that exists. And could it end up causing a tax of like $1 billion, $2 billion? Maybe, but I don't think it's going to, because I don't know if you guys noticed this. But Trump has recently really kind of, I don't know, cozied up with crypto and Bitcoin and everybody in the industry. So you best realize that they're not going to allow Bitcoin miners and MicroStrategy to get hurt by these stupid laws that were implemented to try and gouge people. No unrealized tax, guys. Not on corporations, not on individuals. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it for a number of reasons. That's the end I'll say about that. Loomis has CleanSpark connections. Yeah, they all do. They're all working together, guys. They're all working together. Colin Rugg, just in, U.S. Transportation Command has been told to prepare the U.S. military aircraft so they're getting these ready to export a bunch of fucking immigrants that shouldn't be here and that are probably criminals. And I don't know how things went with Bukele. Did you guys ever hear any more about that? I know there's supposed to be a conversation. I didn't hear any follow-up. Did anybody hear any follow-up? Also, this right here is the roadmap for the United States. It's 4 minutes, so we're going to watch it super fast. Before we do that, though, I just want to look at the economic calendar and make sure that we don't miss anything from today. So let me refresh real quick here. So we did get, it looks like we're getting Canadian data. So we got German data. It's probably going to be trash. Oh, it looks like they're a little bit better on their PMI for manufacturing than expected. They're still in contraction, which is horrible. Their composite was better. That's good. Their services was better. They're in expansion. Wow. Even Germany is seeing growth. If that isn't bullish, I don't know what the fuck is. ARKG, you guys want to talk about ARKG? We can do that a little bit too. Economic activity for Mexico, 0.5%. So it's slowing. Consensus 0.6, forecast 1%. I could see how that's happening. Milei's speech was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Do I have an opinion on BABA? Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like anything Chinese. I don't talk about it. I tell people not to invest in it, and I tell them not to bring it up in here. China is a death trap. If you want to lose a lot of money, it's a great place to do it. Today, President Donald Trump held a call with President Nayib Bukele of the Republic of El Salvador. The two leaders discussed working together to stop illegal immigration and crack down on it. That's what I figured was going to happen. Transnational gangs like Tren de Aragua. So bad at that. I'm sure I'm still butchering it. Chicken Bro, Germany must be flipping this year if conservatives take over. Yeah, they could. I mean, again, if they start working, here's the new rule, guys. If you work with the United States, you will prosper. If you fuck with us, you are screwed. That's the new rule. All right, Canada. Housing price index month over month, negative 0.1%. They forecasted it at growth of 0.2%. And didn't work out. The year over year, 0.1%. They forecast, or the forecast was 0.5%. Didn't work out. Manufacturing sales, 0.6. Previous was 0.8. They forecasted 0.3. A little bit better. Oh, no worries, dude. I'm just throwing it out there. If you don't know, you don't know. So 845 is when we're going to talk about that. Okay, cool. So we get global composite PMI, manufacturing services. And then we get U.S. homes, existing home sales at 9, Michigan consumer sentiment data, and just all the Michigan data. So that's today, guys. That's it. And it should be fun. All right. So I want to listen to this. And again, you need to read it, the captions, because otherwise you won't understand unless you know Spanish. But listen to what this man's saying. It's fucking important. They said, I quote, you know what, let me do it this way. I'll read it in English. And they said, I quote, you know that you can't eliminate crime all at once, right? I'm going to slow this down a little bit because that way I don't fall out of what he's trying to say. Oh, wait, 1 second, guys. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, I had to say goodbye to my kid. She's going to school. All right. So let's listen here, and I'll talk about it. They told me it's not a lack of technical capacity. Oh, let me keep this muted. Let me go back a little bit. I want to do this right. They said, and I quote, you know that you can't eliminate crime all at once, right? He asked why. They told me it's not a lack of technical capacity. It's the hit to the economy that would take. What hit to the economy? How many gang members are there? 70,000. Then that's 70,000 jobs. Stupid fucking take. This is the International Monetary Fund, by the way, I'm pretty sure. Because these people who are earning money through illicit means, which is bad, but that money goes to their households. And it is spent legally. Those households buy diapers for their babies and food for their children. They pay for rent, utilities, and phone service. So this is what the International Monetary Fund and what the World Economic Forum actually believe, guys. This is one of the things they believe. They believe crime is okay because that's a market. It's fucking insanity. They're like, oh, they pay for all these things. Cable, internet, clothes, drinks, beer. They buy motorcycles and gasoline, mobile phone, airtime, etc. All of that economic activity will fall at once without legal parallel economic structure to replace it at the same speed. This is what he was being told, right? You need to stop crime little by little so that little by little you can offset that criminal economy. So you want to think about the criminal economy, guys. You got to factor the criminal economy into your thesis. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. These are the kind of theories that sound to intellectuals, but don't apply in reality. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And he's like, you can't allow this. And if you allow it, they will always win in the war of incentives. Because if you're a young man, come along and say, I don't have many opportunities. I think I'll sell tomatoes at the market. Selling tomatoes at the market is going to be tough. To start, it's not any fun. It's not something to be proud of. I have to go to carry tomatoes and sell them all day under the sun at the market that maybe isn't in good repair. Some of those tomatoes are going to spoil, and the product isn't even mine. I'll probably be selling on consignment. If they go bad, I'll have to pay for them. If I finally sell enough, I'll earn $5. Then on my way home, a gang member shows up and says, give me $5. So the incentive is for this young man to be a gang member and collect those $5 rather than selling tomatoes. So what he's saying, and I'll just stop here, you can watch the rest, is that the incentive is for the crime, not for the economy to be built up by hardworking individuals. Because the incentive is, this is way easier to steal, to hang out with a gang, to do these things. So when you allow thieves and gangs to control your society, you're disincentivizing honest work, and you're allowing them to be taken advantage of. Yeah, it reminds me of the New York Times article, Martin, that getting rid of the drug cartels could hurt the economy. It's the same bullshit. This is the truth, guys. If you don't believe this, you're wrong. I don't have time to correct you. Real Robert. This lady's a badass. She's the same age as Waltz. That's hard to believe. President Trump has executed an executive order allowing the deportation of non-citizens, including foreign students, for supporting U.S.-designated terrorist organizations, Hamas, Hezbollah, on American soil. So if you are a teacher or a student on a visa, not an American citizen, you're talking about overthrowing the West and, get rid of Israel and wipe them out from the river to the sea. Bye. Bye, bitch. Say goodbye to your Harvard. Say goodbye to your Yale. Say goodbye to your Stanford degrees. You're fucking gone. Fuck you. You had the opportunity to be in the greatest country on this earth for the last several hundred years. You had that opportunity to thrive. You had that opportunity to get a great education, and you threw it away for some stupid shit that you don't even understand. Bye, bitch. That wasn't a Nazi salute, just to be clear. That would be like a Nazi salute. This is just like me waving. You got to clarify that shit nowadays. Breaking, the city council of Huntington Beach, California, just voted to defy Gavin Newsom and designate themselves as non-sanctuary city to allow President Trump and ICE to conduct massive deportation raids. You're going to see more of that. Yeah, Qatar scholarships, right? Holy shit. The Washington Health Advisor admits on tape the deep state is real and it will crush Robert F. Kennedy. I love it. These guys are just giving us everything. And as you know, with the World Health Organization, we're out of all this shit. I just want to reiterate this from the other day. The U.S. paid $500 million to the WHO over a 4-year time frame. China paid $39 million. How stupid are we? Not that stupid anymore. All right, let's keep going. We got stuff. It's a busy day. All right, U.S. economy. Nick Timiraos, Nikki Leaks, pointed out that there is a new tenant rent indicator. It says the price level of the rent in the CPI, and this is a thread, so you guys should, if you guys want to look at it more, you should be following Nick. We should all be following Nick. If I miss anything, you guys got to tell me, okay? It says the price level, and this is a longer one, I'm not going to read the whole thing. The price level of rent in the CPI has been running slightly above the level of all tenant. Oh, Susan, we don't gift memberships anymore, but I appreciate you. But please don't do it anymore. You can donate like a tip or something. We've just had weirdos in chat that act like assholes and distract me. So going forward, if you could not do that, I appreciate it, but I really do appreciate your kindness as well, and you are a wonderful person. I like your new profile pic. All right, let's keep going. So the price level of rent in the CPI has been running slightly above the level of the all-tenant index and in line with the new tenant index, notwithstanding the most recent period, which, per the previous tweets, is revision prone. So now we have this fancy new indicator, and look at what it's showing, guys. So when you're looking at new tenants coming in, they're getting much cheaper numbers. This is good. It's good for the economy. It's good for us. It's that deflation we want to see, guys. Guys, 1,000 people on the stream and only 48 likes. Gosh, I hope it's more than that. And it's almost 1,100 now on the stream. Again, Nick, what's different about Trump's call for lower interest rates today versus during the first term is the recognition that something else, namely keeping a lid on inflation, has to happen to justify lower rates. For Trump, lower energy prices via OPEC production increases are the straw that stirs this drink. And he's right. Trump said at various points on Thursday that rates can go down immediately or automatically once energy prices decline. He's right. This is what has to happen. He told reporters in the Oval Office, I'd like to see oil prices come down. And when energy comes down, that's going to knock a lot of the inflation. That's going to automatically bring the interest rates down. It will. And if it doesn't, you can say goodbye to Jerome Powell. His time is done. Yeah. So that's one discussion about this here. And then again, like I said several times this last week, the Bank of Japan raising rates. I think Luca was talking about that being a big concern. Nada. Nobody liked my post, but I was right. Bitcoin Archive, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks. Guys, we are in such a transformational time. It's nuts. Let's listen to this. Oh, we got somebody talking about the Stargate project too. We'll probably jump to that in a little bit as well.
As a huge believer of crypto and blockchain and tokenization,
we actually have a massive housing shortage, especially single family homes. LW Crypto, you said you wonder how they'll fill the new apartment buildings being built in large cities. They'll lower prices, which is great. It's great, right? Like so builders are going to slow down and stop, I believe, in some districts. I mean, other areas still need tons of them, right? Like California is a fucking disaster. But you'll see these apartment buildings that have been built in mass, you'll see them slow down on building, and you'll see them switching back to single family, especially when rates start to come down, which is going to happen because we just talked about it and we said it, and therefore it is going to come true. That is how this shit works. I mean, I'm joking, but kind of. All right, let's listen to Larry Fink.
I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks.
Yeah, Solana ETF decision today. Not just that, but others as well. Very exciting.
That will simplify things, make things easier. Some of the tax on BlackRock would never have to vote on a proxy vote anymore because every owner of record would be notified through a tokenization of equities. And it would save more money for more people. It would bring down the cost of ownership of stock and bonds. So those are the type of financial reforms we need.
Right. Do you guys think that's going to happen? Does that sound like something Trump's going to want to do? Answer, yes. Oh, is my video lagging again? You son of a biscuit eater. Fuck. This is pissing me off. Are the screens at least still moving, guys? Fucking hate this shit. I'm just going to close down a ton of stuff. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to purge my trash. I'm going to fucking close everything. God. Got to reboot. Oh, here's one. This will get rid of a lot. Let's just kill you. Probably going to be a shorter stream since I'm not getting everything to work. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just going to close a bunch more windows and see if we can keep this bitch running. All right. I was like, ugh. All right. Anyway, best answers. Reporter. Do you expect the Fed will listen to you? Trump, yeah. Cha-ching. Rate cuts incoming. Yes. And his way of saying that is he will listen to me or he won't have a fucking job. Randy. No, it's on me this time. Randy said Powell has mentioned the Cleveland Fed new rents versus that of all rents, knowing that new will lead the all. again, this is what we just saw from Nikki Lease. I so eloquently put, Europe is fucked. It pays to live and invest in the United States. And this is in regard to Andrew Neil saying my monologue on today's The Times at 1 Times Radio, 1 p.m. live from New York. It's the only start of the third full day of the new Trump administration, but already we can see what an economic and business threat it poses to an ailing Europe, including the UK. And it's about much more than tariffs. Trump aims to consolidate America's economic supremacy with lower taxes, cheaper energy, and much less regulation. It's worth noting that taxes in Europe and the UK are already much higher than America. Energy is much more expensive, and businesses are far more highly regulated. That explains why America has come out of the pandemic downturn far more robustly than Europe. Trump now wants to go faster on all three fronts so that America pulls even further ahead of Europe than it already is. That's going to happen. As Europe continues to stagnate, America is poised to grow more. Multi-billion-dollar investments in AI and other cutting-edge technologies are being announced, reinforcing America's clear technological lead. It's often thought high-tech businesses don't consume as much power as the old heavy industries. You couldn't be more wrong. Data centers are fierce consumers of electricity, which is why Trump wants even cheaper energy and why Europe and the UK, which has the highest electricity costs in the world, are struggling to attract these data centers. Heavy industry in Europe and the UK is still being hollowed out. Not enough new stuff is replacing it. In the UK alone, chemical production is down 38% in just the past 3 years. Cement production is down 40%. Electrical equipment down 50%. China's fucking you, by the way. Either they close down because energy costs mean they can't compete, or they flee across the Atlantic where energy costs are even cheaper, like the United States. The new China. Who knew it would be the USA? It's all happening across Europe. Yet nobody in Europe is doing anything about it. Thank you, Susan. That's the way to do it. Love you, sweetie. Always do. Far from cutting red tape, Brussels boasts absurdly that the EU is the regulatory superpower. Good luck with getting rich in that environment. Far from cutting taxes, almost everywhere in Europe, they are being increased, even though they're already at record levels. Welcome to socialism. And far from reducing energy prices, they continue to rise as Europe puts the huge cost of going for green energy generation onto everybody else's fuel bills. It's a hat trick of self-harm, which Trump has spotted and intends to exploit. In Britain, Keir Starmer, otherwise known as Pedo, manfully struggles against all the legal constraints on growth and development, many exploited by his legal friends who've grown rich on lawfare, while persecuting political enemies or people that just say shit he doesn't like. Threw that one in there, little ad lib. He's for the builders, not the blockers, he claims, which is good news, but I'd put my money on the blockers winning. Yeah, he's a horrible fucking person. In Davos, Rachel Reeves says she'll look again at the tax regime for non-doms now that 11,000 millionaires and multimillionaires have left Britain in the past year. I don't think that's right. I think it's 9,900. Of course, that could have been an outdated figure. Maybe it is 11,000 millionaires. Fuck. The only country that beat them last year was China per capita outflows for millionaires. Anyway, millionaires left Britain in the past year alone to escape high taxes. I suspect that it's too late to woo them back. It is. They're not coming back. There's too much crime. There's too much chaos. They don't want to live in a radical Muslim regime, and that's what you're going to turn into. Isn't it going to be weird when Britain falls and you're seeing Muslim prayer across the entire country, and all the churches that aren't Muslim are torn down, and all of the existing things that exist, that all these monuments and things are defaced and destroyed? I think that's Britain. It's sad. But, I mean, unless we see something change in the next several years, they're done. Anyway, the punk left will say good riddance to them. They don't realize it's Britain's tax base walking out the door. It's so funny. Contrary to the populist belief, our revenue base is hugely dependent on high earners. Yeah, so that's the way it works all across the world. Bunny. The top 1% of earners account for 30% income tax revenues. The top 0.1% pay over 10% of the income tax revenues. If they go, everybody else will have to pay more in taxes. God, learn this. If you don't know this, guys, you're screwed. you're screwed. If you support people that don't understand these concepts, you're screwed. Few in Britain realize that this, which is why health-destroying policies are so popular, it's not a mistake made here in America, which is prepared to welcome companies escaping Europe's anti-business climate and the high-earning, taxing pay wealth creators that come with them. By the end of this decade, U.S. business will likely be more dominant than ever, and Europe and Britain included, even more of a backwater. For the moment, at least, there is nothing on the horizon to change the gloomy prognosis. Yeah. That's fucking spot on. That is one of the best reads I've seen in a very long time. If you don't follow Andrew Neil, a columnist for the Daily Mail UK, you need to. He's brilliant. He's 100% right about all of this. Hit the like now. Thank you. The UK is so fucked, dude. James said every 45 minutes, one millionaire leaves the UK. That seems high. That seems high, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's the whole point being is the only other country which has they say 1.4 plus, but it's really 1.3 billion people in China. They just don't want to talk about it. But China has 1.3. How many does the UK have? Do we have anybody from the UK here in chat? How many people does the UK have living in it? Is it 1.3 billion? If it's not, then the fact that they're about, I don't know, 70% of the number of millionaires lost in the last year that China is probably pretty fucking bad. 70 million people. 1.3 billion, probably 1.35 billion in China, and 70 million in the UK. And yet they had 65, 70% of the loss of millionaires that China did. Don't get me wrong, much larger amounts of capital fleeing China. Some of these people that I was looking at had 320. I think one of them, it said, had an empire that was worth $320 billion. I'm sure he couldn't get all that out. But was it billion? I want to say it was billion, but that doesn't make sense. Oh, it's probably in yen. In yuan. It's in yuan. So I don't know what that is in dollars. It's less. But again, you're seeing billionaires leave China, lots of them. And the UK doesn't really have that because they're just fucking pathetic in regard to business and a lot of other shit. Anyway, if you're from the UK, I pity you. LW Crypto, Hungary may be the best place to live in Europe going forward. I know, right? And they might just have to leave the European Union. Japan's love of foreign stocks risks. Oh yeah, we covered that one the other day. I think we're good here. And then the lei. So anyway, they basically are buying a lot of U.S. related stocks, and I think that's only going to increase. Our relationship with them with swap lines is only getting better. Don't sleep on Poland. I'm not going to sleep on Argentina, but Poland can do good. The thing I worry about Poland is they get dragged down by just being associated with the EU. It sucks. But they can fine them, and then if they leave, then they lose all these trade agreements. Poland's in a shitty place, even though they're doing everything right. SBR, the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, the working group shall evaluate the potential creation and maintenance of a national digital asset stockpile, potentially derived from cryptocurrency lawfully seized by the Fed. Yeah, that's how it starts. You get your foot in the door with a congressional, with a Congress, a bill from Congress that's approved by Congress, so that you make it hard to revoke it later on. And then once you get the stockpile, then you start buying it. And it's all good. All right, so the leading economic indicator, all the bears love to point to this one. They haven't been talking about it a lot recently, though. It's probably because if you look at the trends going back from March of 2023, the trend is really up. So they don't want to talk about the leading economic indicator when it's going up. Jesus, I'm freezing again. Son of a bitch. All right, let me kill some more stuff. I'll have to reboot my computer today. We might make this a quick stream, guys, after I get past the news. I'm probably not going to do a lot of other stuff just because everything's dying. I might be running out of disk space. This computer, I bought it for I feel like $3,000 or something, maybe more. And I didn't realize I got 48 gig of memory, and it's just not enough for having 150 browser windows up at once. There's a lot of stuff. I have to physically reboot it. It's just not enough. I spent $7,800 on a new Mac. It's the best one you can get. I'm literally getting the best Mac you can get. So if that doesn't help, I don't know what will. But yeah, anyway, so I think we're good here. And again, we talked yesterday about how people were people were buying European stocks. That's the dumbest fucking move you can make. But second largest rotation into European equities in the last 25 years. Fucking retarded. Whatever. Just kick it. It's sitting up on my desk, so that's going to be hard. I could like get my foot up there, but I don't think anybody wants to see that. All right. Jesse, addicted to browser windows. Dude, when you're trying to do what I'm doing, it's really hard if you don't have quick access to everything that's happening. You got to. Like, there's just no way around it. You got to have everything in front of you. Bitcoin strong today, guys. I don't know if you're seeing this. We got it down in the bottom. We got it up here, too. It's kind of like Inception. But all I said here is that we're in a really great place. We're above peak volumes, all of it. And it's just like a step ladder up. This is a position of strength. It is not a position of weakness. For people who are new to this, somebody asked earlier in chat, they're like, how many screens are you, or do I have? I've got my Mac. I've got I want to say it's a 46-inch monitor sitting here, an OLED and LG. And then I've got two LGs that are 32 inches on the side. No, this one's a 50 or 50. I don't know, something like that. And then I've got another one up here that I think is like a 40 or 46. So a few. But yeah, so somebody thought that, oh, this is like a magnet. The volume wants to pull it down. It's not like a magnet. It's the exact opposite of it. The volume is actually more like a support and a resistance zone. Okay, so that's what the volume is. So when you see peak volumes down here, this doesn't mean it like a magnet wants to go back to it. It means that if it does go back to it, there's a high chance that it ends up turning into support, which you can see over here, resistance, over here, barely support, resistance, barely support, resistance, couldn't turn it into support, resistance, broke above, couldn't turn it into support, broke above, binding resistance, looking powerful as it steps higher. So again, you got to understand what the tools are telling you. It's very important. And my boy Chicken Genius, he was a little retarded with Rivian, but he's brilliant with a lot of other stuff. I don't know if I love the liquidity projection that he's showing in here, because I think we could actually see a melt up quicker than that. So I think that one can be somewhat misleading, but he could be right. We'll see. But the gold as a leading indicator, I think, is very prophetic. You can see gold has been leading for a while, for like the last year and a half, I'd say, this cycle basically. And if you look over here, you can see how if you just move the timeline a little bit, you can see the gold consolidation and breakout, and then the gold consolidation, and then the breakout. And so gold has already done what we're getting ready to do, which is go to $125,000. That's what he's trying to represent here. It's the visible range volume profile. It comes with TradingView Premium. If you click on my pinned profile, you can click on that and use the referral link to get a discount on it. But I'll tell you this, man, if you're going for premium, it's way cheaper on Black Friday. That's the time to really get like a couple of years of it or something and just buy a bunch. I think they go out, the farthest they go out maybe is a year. Maybe you can get more. I don't remember. But that's you get a 50 to 70% discount, man. You don't like Chicken Genius? I get that from a lot of people. They say that he's cocky and he was really bad. He's bad on some things. He was talking up Rivian and thought it was going to be like wipe out Tesla. He was wrong. There's a few other things he's been wrong about, but he is smart. He's actually a really smart guy, and he's right about this. And I thought it was a good representation. So. Again, I know he's not everybody's cup of tea. He's cocky. I'm cocky too, guys. I don't know if you notice. I'm probably a little nicer about it. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes. But, yeah. Wasn't he wrong? Yeah, he's been wrong on a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say a bunch. He's been wrong on a few things. But I was wrong on Palantir too, right? I only made $600K off of it. I could have made a lot more. So I try not to judge people too harshly. And even the people that you disagree with, guys, you'll find that there's moments of truth in what they say. So you definitely got to think about that. Oh, we cracked 1,100, almost 1,200. Cool. Chicken Genius trying to match Meat Kevin levels when it comes to Tesla. Yeah, both those guys. And again, even Meat Kevin has good things to say every once in a while. I wanted to show this real quick, guys. This is Ross Ulbricht out of prison for the first time in over 11 years. And he is thanking Donald Trump. It's only 1 minute. He's thanking Donald Trump for getting him out. A lot of people are seeing this. Meat Kevin blocked you? Wow, he hasn't even blocked me, and I talk so much shit to him. You must have done something evil. Mr. Castor. Alan says Chicken Genius got a lot of people to start long-term investing and actually made quite a bit. Yeah, dude, he was a huge Tesla bull. He just got distracted. A lot of people do that. I saw Jeremy kind of do that too. And and again, Meet Kevin did it. There's some people that don't realize that their success is coming from Tesla, not just them. And all of a sudden they think, oh God, I'm great. I'm brilliant, dude. I'm brilliant. Tesla was just a thing I found. It's not the best company in the entire world. It's all me. And I would tell these people to have a little bit of hubris and realize that they're lucky. Yeah, it's ego. It's ego. Because like I found some good ones, man. I found some good ones, but it's also the community that helped me find them, and it's hard work, and sometimes it's luck. So I don't think you can. Yeah, his PP is so small now. Me, Kevin's PP is just like so shriveled up you can barely see it. It's really bad. 2024 hurt that motherfucker. How the fuck do you get almost 0% return in 2024? I sucked and I got 53. I sucked. I got 600% the year before though, so I think I'm still probably beating me, Kevin. I don't know. But I'm shooting for 200 to 300 this year. So we make that happen. I'm a badass because I'll be up $15 to $25 million in my portfolio, and that would be nice. I like Tom. Tom Nash is my friend. He's a little salesman-y too. So I get that. All right, anyway, let's get to it here. Enough of talking about Tom Nash, Chicken Genius, and me, Kevin's little peepee. We're going to move on to Ross Ulbricht getting free from Donald Trump. Let's listen to his words. And this, you got to think about how this man feels today, man. This is yesterday. Just think about how he feels. He's free. He's free. 11 years in prison. He wrote numerous times how he was going to die in prison because that's what he believed. And now he's a free man who can have a future.
Let it be known that Donald Trump is a man of his word. Thank you so much, President Trump, for giving me this amazing blessing. I'm so grateful to have my life back, to have my future back, to have this second chance. This is such an important moment for me and for my whole family. It's an important moment for everybody who's been working for this for years. This is a victory, and it's your victory too. And this is an important moment for everybody, everywhere, who loves freedom and who cares about second chances. So it feels amazing to be free, to say the least. It's overwhelming, and for the next however long we need, I'm going to be with my family so that we can reunite and be whole again and heal. But there's a lot to talk about, and I look forward to re-engaging with the free world. And so once I'm feeling up to it, we'll talk again.
I love this guy. It's great. It's great that he's back. Susan said every person is right at some point. I don't know. You obviously haven't met Gordon Johnson or Peter Schiff, or actually Peter's done all right. He's done all right. Gordon Johnson, I don't know. I tell my friends, let me see here. Let me read a few chats. I tell my friends that even Andrew Tate has some valid views. He does, actually. He's a cocky dipshit, and he's like totally a male chauvinist, and I can't agree with everything that he says at all. But he's right about some things. Again, he's more conservative in nature, and he comes from like a Muslim background, and he even talks about how the UK is being fucking stupid. Did I just... my screen. Son of a bitch. Let me see if I can empty my trash. Just give me a sec, guys. I'm going to empty some trash here. Do you want to empty your trash? Yes, please empty my trash. I don't know if that's going to help at all. But we'll see. All right. But yeah, even he has some valid points, right? Even he understands that the UK is going down the wrong path and that they shouldn't let a bunch of radicals run it. I think you get some kind of schooling degree in prison. He didn't need it, man. He's so brilliant. Mr. Casper, this guy has a lot to share. He does. Now I'm crying. Thank you, President Trump. Dude, he got a raw deal, man. He got multiple life sentences. He got a raw deal. Were there some bad things that happened? Yes, because of his app, but also the drugs that were being sold on it were actually vetted by the community. And if they were bad, they were reviewed. It was actually ridiculously a lot safer for the people that were taking them. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a libertarian who's like, let people take fentanyl and crack cocaine all the time. I think there's some things that can be detrimental to your society. But a lot of the traffic that was going on there wasn't just illegal. It was legal. People were doing all kinds of stuff. They used Silk Road for everything. And so, I don't know. I think he's learned a lesson, though. Kyle Wright, the new interviewer between Chamath and Tucker was so epic. Talked a lot about finding meaning and everything not being about his doing. Taps into what you're saying about these creators. I'll have to listen to that. The new interview between Chamath and Tucker. Thank you. I didn't even know about that. Thank you, guys. Every time you tell me, if you guys see great things, I try to share great interviews and YouTube videos with you. If you see them, throw them out to me. I greatly appreciate it. We went over all this with Cynthia Loomis. Vivek saying every single bank will now start offering Bitcoin services. That's true. For Danny Marquez, I shared this one yesterday. He asked me to. It looks like he did all right with it. 1,200 likes. He said, for those that may not be aware of SAB 120, what SAB 121 is, why it was so punitive and why its repeal is so significant for Bitcoin. And he goes through the details of it. Let's see. I don't think it's a little long, but I'm probably just going to read the first half because it's important to understand. And I'm not even going to. Yeah, let me do this. I'll read this part for sure. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to let this read it, and I'm going to drink coffee.
It's important to first understand how traditional custodial arrangements work. Assets held for customers are off-balance sheet type items. Why off-balance sheet? Well, the custodian doesn't own the assets. You, the customer, do. The custodian is there to merely act as an agent or fiduciary for the client, so it recognizes only 1. The fees earned from custody services as revenue. 2. Any direct liabilities or receivables related to unsettled transactions.
All right. Part 2. Again, this is huge, but it's good to know. That's why we're going through it. All right, so here's an example.
If Bank of America, BAC, holds $10 billion in stocks for clients and earns $50 million in custody fees annually, BAC will show no change to its assets or liabilities on its balance sheet because the $10 billion belongs to the clients, not the bank. The $50 million in fees is reported as revenue on the income statement. Makes sense, right? BAC isn't going to inflate and misrepresent its balance sheet by $50 billion for assets it doesn't own, which would misrepresent the actual financials of the company. Okay, now on to SAB 121.
All right, this is a lot, but it's going to be worth it. Somebody asked why MicroStrategy is so far off its high. There's a thing called a premium in it. You probably need to learn how all of it works. If you don't understand the trade, I wouldn't get into it. It's going to go up again, make a bunch of money. And then it's going to have a short life. It'll probably, maybe it's good for 3 to 6 months max. And then it's a trade that you don't want to be in. So it's a little more complicated. But if you want a multiple of Bitcoin's returns, it's going to be a great way to get it. And with lower premium right now, like a 1.9-ish premium to NAV, I still think it's going at least to 3.5. So 1.9 is going to seem small.
SAB 1.
Yeah, we definitely have to talk about ArcG. That's probably one of the last things I'll talk about. We'll get through this, and then we'll probably jump into ArcG because we should talk about it. And I still haven't watched the interview with oh my God, what am I trying to say? Fucking Kathy Wood. Oh my God, I got a T-shirt with her on it, and I just lost it. I think the dementia's kicking in. If you guys know anything good for dementia, let me know. Obama's getting divorced. Perhaps Obama's getting divorced. Are you kidding? All right, let's keep going.
121 was an accounting policy issued in 2022 by the SEC that made companies offering crypto custodial services.
Yeah, IBIT calls are probably a safer way to play if you don't understand MicroStrategy.
Treat Bitcoin held on behalf of customers as both assets and liabilities.
Yeah, 3.5. It might go to 5 for the premium. It's already been at 3.5, and it's going to do it again.
On their balance sheets. So now a company like Coinbase, Coin, would have to recognize $1 billion in BTC as an asset representing the amount in BTC held for its customers, to $1 billion as a liability to represent the obligation to safeguard a customer's assets.
I don't know if I'll go through all this because it's got a lot of math. But essentially what's happening is you're going to be able to borrow against it by playing Mahjong. That's what I got to do. I got to find some Asians to hang out with to play Mahjong. I do have a friend. His name's Tony. He's Asian. I don't know if you can just pick any Asian, but I'll probably pick him. And if he doesn't know how to play Mahjong, maybe we can learn together. We'll figure it out. Mark Zuckerberg planning to invest 60 to 65 billion in capex in 2025. Dude, there's going to be so much of that. And but essentially what this is it's going to make it to where they don't have to hold like 1-to-1 for the assets for if they're custodying Bitcoin, which is an insane thing for them to have to do. It's going to be more like regular banking related terms, and this is going to allow them to be able to do all the stuff that they do with regular collateral, but they'll be able to do it with Bitcoin, and they'll be able to provide all the custody services. That's the skinny of it. And if you want to get the full thing, Danny had a really great write-up. Susan, you know what? My buddy's Korean too. That works. We can all hang out. Or do Koreans not play Mahjong? I don't know. I never asked him. Maybe I should ask him. Just lumping all the Asian people together is probably not a good thing. All right, let's keep going. I do that to him all the time too. I think half the time he's like, do you know what I am? There's this skit about that too. What is the funny Asian dude's name that's really short that talks with the Irish dude all the time? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You guys have to know. Somebody in here knows. He's got like a little skit about that where he was sitting with that one hillbilly looking dude with the mullet, and he was like, do you even know what I am? It was the funniest shit ever. It just killed me. You guys, Bobby Lee. I love Bobby Lee. He's so fucking hilarious. It was so funny. I what's that show called? Can you guys tell me? I haven't saved it or subscribed to it. I want to subscribe to it. So if you guys, Creatine, all right, I'll look at that. Give me that show name. Yeah, Theo Von. He was great. I actually had tickets to go see him, but then I couldn't go, so I let my nephew and his friends go, and I think I paid like a ton of money for him, like $2,000 or something. So they got to have some fun. But I wish I could have seen him. Theo Von's great. David Bailey, this guy's great. I just started following him recently. I think he's the CEO of what is he the CEO of? Bitcoin Magazine and the Bitcoin Conference and UTXO Management. But he's pretty cool. He said, once we have an SBR, the next most interesting nation-state development will be Bitcoin-backed bonds. It's the sovereign equivalent of MicroStrategy's convertible notes. That sounds awesome. Bad friends. Thank you. I'm going to add that to my list. Thank you. I love that. So people aren't talking about Bitcoin-backed bonds yet. I think this is very true. I think it's coming, and I think it's a brilliant thing to discover so early on and to think about and to put out into the world. He also said this is a watershed moment. As soon as the price starts going up, sentiment will flip. And he also said, guys, I don't know if you know this, Bitcoin is a digital asset, because everybody's like, digital assets? What the fuck? Anyway. Yeah. What do we got? MicroStrategy has two phases: price expansion, fixed income like CBs, convertible bonds, and preferred shares, etc., and price contraction, ATM. ATM adds assets which lower debt to equity ratio, and CB will increase leverage. That is a really smart take. Huh. I don't know if you've been getting that from Ben or if you just figured that out on your own, but good job, man. Kim Jong-un. I saw a video with like somebody pretending to be Kim Jong-un walking through the Bronx. That was great. Totally random. Sorry. All right. Anyway, I do want to talk about Archie. I want to talk about Archie because I think this one's going to be important. I think a lot of stuff could be going up today, guys. I don't know. Maybe it goes down for a bit. I think it'd be stupid for it to. But I did want to point out something with ArcG that you guys got to understand. And I've been pounding the table for this shit. Okay. You even see, Asian Elon Musk. That's crazy. He looks so much like him. So much. He barely looks Asian. It's real. Oh God, I'm freezing again. Fuck. Yeah, we're gonna make this a short one. I'm gonna kill a bunch more windows. Let me just kill that fucking shit. Let me kill all these windows. All right, guys. We're gonna see if I can just level everything. All right, there we go. Okay. So anyway, stay on task, Jesse. Asian Elon Musk can't speak English. You're right. I don't think he can. But it's awesome seeing Elon Musk, speaking Chinese, speaking Mandarin. It's fucking wonderful. Anyway, so a couple things I want to note here. I talked before about how this down range that we're in has been going on since the beginning of 2022. So 2022, 2023, 2024, for 3 years, this downward range has kept us from going higher. 3 years. This thing's only 1.21 billion in AUM. Just a week ago, I was talking about it being only 1. Is his name Yi Long Ma? Did he name himself that? That's funny. Anyway, gotta focus. 1.21 billion. A week ago, it was like 1. And we broke out of a 3-year downtrend. I mean, it's older than that. It's actually 4 years. But this downtrend line is 3 years old. And we just broke above it. And we went exactly where I said we were going to go. And really, not a lot of resistance until about 30, 31. And then all the way up to about 35. I think that we could see this thing go to 5 billion, which is about a 4x. And my calls are 10x, 4x. For the people that are slow with math, that is 40x. 40x. Does anybody think that's a decent number? So I currently have, I think, almost $400,000 in this trade. I've used tab groups, but I hate that too. So can anybody do the math real quick on $400,000 times 40? I think it's 16 million. Is that right? Is that right? Can somebody help me out with the math on that? So I think this is a good trade. I've got a lot of contracts in it. And I think yesterday alone it was up, but I think today it's going to get even better. And I think it's going to get really good once people realize how far this thing can go. So this one trade, this is what we call asymmetric bets, guys and gals. Sue's here. She's like our one representative that's a lady in this group. No, I'm kidding. There's a few of you guys. Caroline, there's a bunch of others. You guys do make up 3% of my group. Maybe 4 now. I don't know. It's picking up, getting all the ladies now. But yeah, does that seem like a good deal? Can you guys see how asymmetric bets pointed in different directions can make you shit tons of money? Because I'm telling you that I would be happy. And genomics is only going to pick up. And there's a video from Kathy Wood that I need to get pulled up. But I just want to show you guys. This is just one of my bets. And right now it's $388,000, but I've got more in another account. So I'm probably like $430,000. And you guys can check the options profit calculator, but this thing is roughly 8 to 10x multiplier to the underlying. And that number increases the higher it goes. So if I got, I don't know, even just 10 million from this bet, just 10 million from this bet. Oh, my wife doesn't care. She knows I'm pretty docile. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a shit. She says I can look but not touch. That's the rule. And frankly, I'm getting so old I barely even look anymore. So we're good. But anyway, 400,000 plus. And this thing could go even if it goes 10x, I make tons of money. And so this in and of itself could give me like a 70% increase, 75, 80%, 75% increase in my portfolio from where it is right now. So again, asymmetric bets, different directions. I've got this. I might even do AMD options. We'll see. I've got CleanSpark options. I've got all kinds of Bitcoin investments. I've still got DLO in here. We'll see if that ends up doing anything. I got Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which I think can 4 to 5x. I've got Tesla, which I've got calls in that, which can do really well. I've got PayPal, which can do really well. I've got some tech banking sector. I've got some leveraged stuff. My portfolio, if anything, if we just have a decent year, I can make shit tons of money. And that's kind of the point. And then in the not too distant future, I'll be leveraging into things that are better hedges to offset potential downside risk to where if something does happen, I'll be good. So this is what we do on here. We go for asymmetric bets to try and make a bunch of money. And so far it's working out pretty good. And I'm not hating it. Susan, I support you. We all support Susan. She's great. I would be happy to represent the girls. Thank you, Susan. Any other stocks that are paying like ARKG calls? I think PayPal could too. Got some bad press with Tom Nash yesterday, but it looks like they did resolve his issues. So again, Ace is doing the right stuff, and I think that PayPal can pick up. It's just there's a lot to fix with PayPal. But again, I think he's doing a great job, and I think it doesn't take a lot. You can get a 10x on PayPal if it just goes up decently. Palantir, Chad interviews Francisco. How Palantir powers supply chains operations. Interesting. Thoughts on ETH? I'm not really big on Ethereum right now. Bad friends, yes, love that one. I'm worried with rates on small caps and ARKG. Rates are going to get great in the future. Don't be worried about them. We're going to drop energy prices and rates are going to come down. Small caps are going to explode. And ARKG is a conglomerate of the entire, like the top 40 companies in the genomics sector. And it's only barely over $1 billion in AUM, and it's heavily illiquid. When this thing pops, it's going to fucking go off. And here's the deal. It's like 7% of my portfolio, maybe less, 6, something like that. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't do perfect, but I think it will. I think it's going to be amazing. So I think people are missing out, and that's cool. I'll make enough money for all of us. I promise you. I will make enough for all of us. But is it still a good call on the leaps? I don't know, man. Watch my options video, and then pull up the leaps, and see if they're a good deal. If they're showing you 8 to 10x returns, if we go to 50 or 60, then I'd say they're a good deal. And when I say to 8 to 10, I'm talking about versus the underlying asset, because you want a multiplier of the underlying asset that's usually 3 to 10. That's my rule. Sell a little Tesla for ARKG. I mean, if you're doing really good on Tesla and it's all you have, it might not be a bad idea. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some random dude sitting in his basement who dropped out of high school and who got rich from investing. So make sure you understand what you're doing, because leaps are dangerous. Options are really fucking dangerous. 0 day, it's suicide. So if you're doing 0 day, you're just going to go poof. If you're doing weeklies, you're probably going to go poof. You got like a 90% chance of failure on weeklies. You got like a 99% on dailies. But if you're doing leaps and the company is going to do good and you got the directionality right and you can hit targets, you could do really, really well. And you got a lot of time to be wrong. Sol looks strong today. I know. I'll pull that up real quick since I'm not freezing this very second. And we can at least look at Sol. A lot of good stuff going on in the world, guys. Not in China, though. Fuck, not China. So we talked about this. We talked about how we had this, I don't know, how far back does this go? 2021? Yeah, 2021. Resistance zone that we finally broke above in November. Back tested, found support, launched off of it, got above the first fib now. Next move, 385. Whoa, tips are coming up. What are you guys doing? You're getting crazy over here. EC, $10. Can you see, or can you list quick bullet points on why you like PayPal? Yeah, I could probably do that. So it's a really simple thesis. The options contracts are sick. They give you a massive upside against the underlying. The company, I'll show you a few things real quick here. And let me see, what did Bama have too? $20 tip. Thank you for that too. Meg Montrose Environmental Group, would you look please? Yes, we'll do that just because $20 is a pretty big tip. So we will do that. But yeah, so Solana next step around 380. That's going to make a lot of people a lot of money and they're going to be happy about it. $130 billion cap, still cheaper than XRP. I think XRP is going to get utterly walloped, guys. I wouldn't want to own XRP right now when you know, oh, there we go, freezing again. When you know that, I mean, some people are stupid. They're not going to figure it out. But in the last 24 hours, we got Solana up 9.2%, ETH is up 4.9%, Bitcoin's up 2.7%, and XRP's up 2.5%. This thing is peaking out again, in my opinion. Could it go up a little higher? Maybe, but it's essentially like a CBDC. Make sure you refresh too, guys. This will probably be, I'll just have to end this here pretty quick because just nothing's working. Yeah, so PayPal. The big thesis with PayPal, let me pull this up. The big thesis with PayPal is pretty simple. It's that the options contracts give you massive upside. And the growth rate for the company, like let's look at your revenue segments, look like they're picking up. Again, this is a decent amount of growth. Customer active accounts have picked up to almost new all-time highs. Total payment volumes picking up. They're starting to integrate these two silos of PayPal and Venmo into one. They've already integrated a bunch of their data silos into each other. Their outstanding shares since 2021 has went from 1.174 billion down to 1.024. So that's a decent downtick in share count over that time. So again, less supply with growth, with steady operating expenses, with increased efficiency, with cash flows that give you 1.45 billion a quarter is phenomenal. Yeah, 5 minutes till open, guys. Is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. And even their transaction margins have started to increase. And when I look at their estimates over here, they continue to go up. Their EPS continues to go up to what looks like it's going to be record highs by the end of 2025. And I don't know, institutional ownership, the institutions haven't caught on. Short interest has actually been picking up. It's not much. It's only 2.68%. But I think these people are really wrong. I think this company is going to do well, and I think I can make a lot of money off of it. And it doesn't have to move a lot. Again, guys, if it's doing 10x the underlying, a 50% move is the potential of 500%, and that's good. Or I'm sorry, 400%, and that's good. If it goes up 100%, you're doing even better. So I'm only looking for PayPal to just like double, not even. Just do another 50% from here. I'll make a couple million and I'll probably revert back to stock. Yeah, that's the thesis. Haha, my son started my car and phone Bluetooth connected to the car. That's funny. That'll do it. That'll do it. All right, let me go back up here because I don't want to miss this. So Meg, Montrose Environmental Group. Would you please look? My former broker dumped a bunch of my money at it. Huh. So he put a bunch of your money in that company? All right, let's look. I don't love the term environmental group. I feel like that's something that just gets fucked in this new world. But let's look. Let's see if the math is good. Revenue's been increasing. Net income is just negative. Free cash flow. So revenue is 178 million. They're losing 7 to 10, maybe on average per quarter. And free cash flow is just positive this last one by 9.9, but really it's kind of hit or miss a little bit. They're diluting shares a lot. They've got massive amounts of debt. Their operating expenses are kind of high. They don't have a PE ratio because you have to have profits to have one. It looks like they're kind of trying to trend towards positive EPS growth by the end of the year, but this isn't really a high growth rate and in no way screams to me asymmetric opportunity unless he knows something that I don't know. Now, let's look. Is it a small cap? What's the cap? 1.1 billion. So, and I'm sorry, the enterprise value is 1.1, but the market cap's only 771. So this would be a good thing to have a small amount of your portfolio towards, unless you know it's just amazing and why. Otherwise, though, the shared, it's just a waste management company. Why the fuck are you in this? So, Little Rock, Arkansas. This is the garbage company for Little Rock, Arkansas. So, I mean, I don't know, man. This just doesn't scream asymmetric to me, and I don't know why your financial advisor would put you in this. But I'm just some retard in his basement, so take it for what it's worth. I hope that helps. I would much rather be in a couple of options contracts for ArcG. Again, a small percentage. I'm in 7%. If you're not confident with this stuff, keep it down to a couple percent in different directions. How will SAB 121 affect SoFi? They can custody Bitcoin now, and they could even give people loans for whatever they want to do, like a mortgage or student loans, or helping out in whatever way they could use that Bitcoin as collateral or other currencies. It's pretty huge. Sean said, Tim, already run big. I would like for a different asymmetric bet. Tim is one company in ArcG. And it only requires speculation. None of them have to do anything great. It's only $1 billion in the genomics sector. I could see people dumping $10 billion in the genomics sector. Let's just look at something real quick. Market cap over time for ArcG. I don't know if I'm paying for one of these services yet. I was going to pay for Y charts, and I don't think I ever did. It says start trial. So I'm going to say no, I haven't. There are others, though, that are free that I could probably use. Let me see here. Let me see if Market Chameleon is one. Stock 30-day implied. Fuck. I'll have to see. There's one company. I'm just trying to see if I can find it on here that gives you market cap over time too. Market Watch, Genomic, whatever. I'll try and find it later. But I think it's already been 10 billion or close. So all it takes is a little bit of speculation. The companies don't even have to be successful. People just need to start talking about genomics and you'll make tons of money. It's a 10x multiple, the underlying. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Market open, ding, ding, ding. I'm probably going to end soon because my screen keeps glitching. And but we can do that. Oh, actually, I closed the market open. So I think, guys, we're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it short for today, just because my computer's all locking up and glitchy and shit. Plus, my baby, my dog, named Shiley, a Jack Russell Terrier that I've had for 15 years. I think she's having her last days. Last night was not a good night for her, and I didn't get a lot of sleep either. And I've still got to do a bunch of health-related stuff that I have not been doing for my buddy Rob Group and his wife Tram, my nutritionists and personal trainers. So I need to get on that shit. So I think I'm going to call it early today. And I hope you guys got something good out of today. I hope your confidence is still strong too in what you're holding and what we're looking at and what we believe is going to happen in the future with this economy, the president that we have. I think we're in for good things, guys. And I'm going to try and be a cheerleader, not to the point of guiding you guys off a cliff, but hopefully just to the point of keeping you from jumping off a mountain that you can go a lot higher and see some beautiful heights. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'll try and be beneficial to you. Again, that's my goal, right? And just to remember, we're in a world of America first, and there's going to be a lot of money made, and you don't want to ignore it. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting in a bad place. All right, love you guys. Let's make a bunch of money, and then let's make sure that we're safe and we get to keep it all. Peace out, and I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.
I got love for every nation. I got love for all races. I got love for all religions. Got love for so many places. No love for a politician, a congressman, or a senator. If the country that they put in first ain't the United States of America. No love for these politicians with corporate interests in other countries. Only one that I serve is God. I don't serve man, I don't serve money. No love for the people living in the USA, but always hating it. Got a lot I probably shouldn't say to yo. Matter of fact, I'll just pray on it. I'm pro-life, pro-God, pro-gun, not ashamed of it. Yo, worshiping military, killing babies, mutilating children, yelling Satanists. Supporting the troops in their tour doesn't mean that you're supporting the war. Supporting the freedoms that they fighting for doesn't mean that you're supporting the war. Supporting the country I live in and loving it doesn't mean blindly supporting the government. The world that we live in is trouble. They turn off the media. We should defund it. Supporting America for other nations does not make me a racist. If you like communism so much, I'll pay for your vacation. America first, the people are hurt. Got vets in the street with nothing to eat and nowhere to work. Sending our dollars overseas and funding these wars. No love for these politicians if they're not America first. America first. This countries protect their borders. It's not a controversial subject. I say close the southern border. It seems to get people upset. I don't care what names you call me. We in $40 trillion of debt. Uncle Sam takes half your money, then you get a low refund check. I am America first. Kamala cares a better purse. I never sell out the people to raise my net worth. The Second Amendment is there to always protect my first. I'm a better rapper than Meg Thee Stallion, and I don't even have to curse. Let's keep the American dream alive and put an end to all the lies. BLM raised billions, and what did they do for black lives? Politicians promise you the whole world, then they backslide. What happened to Hunter's laptop? You know I'm most strapped up. Gun rights are human rights. Feminists been sold a lie. You can mess around and find out. Play stupid games, win a stupid prize. God bless the whole USA, even the ones you hate me. Still fighting for you today, and no globalists hate me. America first, the people are hurt. Got vets in the street with nothing to eat and nowhere to work. Sending our dollars overseas and funding these wars. No love for these politicians if they